Right, let's talk Crystal Palace. They are in the first part of Super Sunday, one of 3 2 p.m. kickoffs tomorrow. They're at home to Wolverhampton Wanderers. You can see it live on Sky Sports from 2 o'clock tomorrow. I mean, Clinton, it was... Well, it'd be fair to say an interesting press conference yesterday from Oliver Glasner. He was asked the question whether he wants to stay at Selhurst Park until the summer. He said, let's see what the future brings. You never know. He was also asked if he still has the drive to lead the club. He said, yes, I think so. Yes. I mean, what on earth's going on? It's leading a lot of people to think that the moment he announced that he wouldn't stay beyond the end of the season, that was the time to change. His heart's not in it, is it?
I speak to Tim about it before. When he's announced it in October, they should have got rid of him. I know everything's in hindsight. I probably would say now keep hold of him. He has to have a good... You know, Palace have done well. They got a chance of the Europa Conference League. They're in an all right position. And then he loses players. He loses Mark Gay, and the club don't bring in a replacement. I understand his frustration, but he's at Crystal Palace. He knew what the football club was like. And, yeah, at the moment, he's a man who's speaking who don't want to be at the football club. But if you don't want to be at the football club and you've down tools, the chairman's got to make the right decision because they're still in a bit of... They're looking over their shoulders, Palace. They're not in good form. Europa Conference League, they went away. Disappointing result. I know they got a draw, they're still in it, got the second leg, but listen, he'll go down as their best manager because he's brought them trophies, Oliver Glasner. But the way it's ending at that football club is not good. And we were saying it before, your stock is high, your stock's going to downgrade.
That's what I can't understand.
It's the way he's acting, though.
Because if he's looking for a big job next, this on your CV, I know he's got some previous on this front, but this is not a good look.
No, but you can't. The way you're acting is not right. It still could be a good season for Palace. Could finish in the top half of the table and win the Europa Conference League. So there's a lot of people that would want to take that job. They're one of the favourites at the moment. But he is a man at the moment that's looking like he's had enough, and I'm surprised at that, having met him loads of times, but maybe the time has come.
But I think he needs to be really, really careful, because a lot of the time you end up getting a job because there's tough times at that club. Usually that's what happens when a manager gets removed. Now all of a sudden you're looking at whenever the going gets tough. I mean, right now, his behaviour...
I agree.
The players must be sitting there thinking to themselves as well, we've got a manager, OK, he's announced that he's going to leave. But he's then got to go on the training field and demand the best from them. He's not giving the club the best.
No.
I mean, that interview alone should have been a sacking offence straight away. Bye. As I said, the guys have touched on it there. Should have been away as soon as he said he was going to leave. I think because of the emotional tie to Crystal Palace fans for what he's delivered for them over the period of time. But this has been on the slide for a while now, and as I said, you look at it there, that interview was a sacking offence alone.
Yeah. I mean... The contrast between how last season finished with their first ever major trophy in the FA Cup, the way this season began, they went on that long unbeaten run. The contrast from then until now is massive.
Got too big for his boots, didn't he? I mean, away through the club, I agree 100%, away through the club under the bus. Steve Parish should have drawn a line under it then. I understand
why do you think he didn't?
Because he's got no one else. He's got no one else. So he thinks, why should I pay him off and then get another one in to bring in? If he can find one now, I'm sure he's having a proper hunt around now. If he finds a manager now, I believe he'll be gone by the end of the season or by the end of the week, of next week. I just don't believe they should keep him. He wants to go. Give him what he wants. He's got history. He's burnt bridges at loads of other clubs. What might have considered him? They might think twice now. They might think he's done this at Frankfurt, he's done it at Wolfsburg, now he's done it at Crystal Palace. What's he going to do to us? He'll do exactly the same because he's got history. That is what he wants to do. Because look, exactly. If people can look at it the other way and say, well, he's won the FA Cup, he's done so well. Why didn't they just buy him the players? Because they didn't want to. That is the culture of the club.
Exactly.
The club needs to run on a financial shoestring, really. Of course, their fans would be ambitious. They say, well, he delivered that. Fantastic. We give him credit for that. Brilliant. Done a wonderful job. You know, taking him to Europe and where they're performing. But he knew what he signed up for. He knew this club wasn't a Chelsea, wasn't an Arsenal, wasn't. So there was always going to be restraints on the finances. And if he developed the players and they outgrow, like Mark Gay, I mean, he's fantastic, well done, but there comes a time when this player outgrows your football club and he's gone. Eze was exactly the same. Elise previous to that. Get on with the job, what you signed up for.
He's right.
The club have put you on the stage, and they've developed him into a top-class Premier League manager. But I think he's burnt a lot of bridges with clubs who might have considered him, and now they won't touch him.
Even there's a lot of clubs out there, bigger clubs with the exact same, in terms of wanting to bring players in development and move them on.
Yeah.
He could quite easily have left with his head held high. Even survival for Crystal Palace this year, because the players have lost and having to rebuild again, would have been an achievement. It didn't have to end like this, but the way he's gone about it is totally wrong. And there will be bigger clubs, because we've all sat here in recent months and said, you know, the Manchester United job was come up. Oliver Glasner was definitely a name. He was linked with big clubs back in Germany as well.
Yeah.
You feel as if owners would be looking at that now and saying, that's someone who, you know, Steve Parish has backed him.
Yeah.
He's helped him as best as he possibly can within the restraints at Crystal Palace. And now all of a sudden, for it to end like this, it's disappointing.
Boydie, if you're a fan of that club, Clinton, you're a fan.
Yeah.
If you're a fan of that club and you're an owner of that club, you think, I want a manager who don't feel like he's doing us a favour by being the same manager.
Well, let me tell you something. In midweek, they were singing "You're getting sacked in the morning." So
The fans have turned.
They've turned.
Never a good look, is it?
No, they've turned. They have turned.
Just a final quick point on this before we go back to the goal zone where the goals continue to flow. What happens next? Because Robbie Keane has been mentioned a lot. Some bookmakers suspending the market on him being the next man in the door at Selhurst Park.
What happens?
When does Steve Parish twist?
After this weekend. They've got Wolves on the weekend, so I'd be thinking he'd be speaking to people now.
End of Sunday, Monday?
It depends, innit? If they win, I don't know if they win. I think it's maybe.
The problem's not going to go away.
It's not going to go away, because you know what? If they get another bad result, he'll come out and say the same thing. So I think, it could be his last game on the weekend. They got a big game in Europe in midweek.
And you know who they play after that? Tottenham.
But there you go. On a Thursday night, they do March the 5th.
You could be in charge for that, Clinton. You're Crystal Palace legend.
I am a legend. The statue's there.
It's the only job you've not got right now.
Don't worry about that.
Don't be silly.
Hey,